Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. We're going to have to prove the falsity of the world. It's not easy, especially when you have it, it's a little warm and you have a nice Indian lunch. And then to talk about the falsity of the world is very sleep inducing. But we'll have to give it our best shot. Why do we have to talk about the falsity of the world? What's the context? The context is we were introduced to this takeaway from the first session. Spirituality is all about the mind. So it is the mind which has to be spiritualized, and we saw three ways of doing that. How do we overcome suffering? Suffering, as in the second arrow. How do we overcome suffering? By changing the mind, spiritualizing the mind. We had three takeaways from the first session. One is not the text did not say that, but one is move from selfishness to selflessness. There, the text, you will see the second verse, it says, too many desires. Move away from desires. From selfishness, I, me, mine, to selflessness, that will calm down the mind. That will give me peace and strength of mind to live life. Second method I mentioned was the concentration of mind. Too much flickering of mind, distraction. It leads to unhappiness. Focused mind will give peace of mind. And then the third method we talked about was devotion, bhakti. So many desires going out to the world. Take that I want. You take all those I wants and target and channelize it towards God. So all that I want is fine, but all of it tied together in one powerful love of God. That love is called bhakti. Bhakti is a great way of spiritualizing the mind. It gives you peace of mind, strength of mind. Bhakti, yoga, karma, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, and bhakti yoga, all are very powerful. And they are enough to give a lot of peace of mind. But now we come to the whole point of this chapter. That is, by realizing the falsity of the world appearance, the mind is calmed, the mind is spiritualized. What is meant here? Verse number 4. Come to verse number 4. Parigyanena sarpatvam, parigyanena sarpatvam, chitra sarpasya nashyati, chitra sarpasya nashyati, yatha tathaiva samsarah, yatha tathaiva samsarah, sthita eva upashamyati, sthita eva upashamyati. Through right knowledge alone, the erroneous cognition of a snake painted on the canvas is destroyed. Similarly, through the knowledge of the oneness between Brahman and Atman alone, the world appearance, though seeming to exist, dissolves. Okay. This is a play on the snake rope example. It appears to be a snake and scary, and when we realize it's actually a rope, all the fear goes away. You realize what it is truly. By knowing that the snake is not real, your fear of the snake is gone. How do you know that the snake is not real? It looks like a snake. You realize that the truth, that it is actually a rope. Here, the example is similar, little variation on that example. There is a painting, a very vivid painting of a snake. So vivid, for some reason, we don't know why, so you have forgotten it's a painting. Maybe it is placed on the floor and you suddenly come into the room and you see the painting of the snake and, oh my God, like a big, magnificent cobra with its hood risen sitting there. Then you take a second look closely, oh, it's a painting. Beautiful painting. Then you can appreciate the beauty of the painting and you're not scared anymore. What happened? What was there is there. What seemed to be a real snake was the source of fear, scared of it. When the reality of the snake was taken away, the form remains the same. The appearance remains the same. It exactly looks like that, looks like very much like a snake. In fact, you take a closer look at it and you enjoy it even more. How beautifully the painter has brought out the snake. But what happened was mithyatva nishchayaha, the determination of the falsity of the so-called snake. It's not a real snake. And thank God, it's not a real snake. Looks the same, yet it no longer has the effect of scaring you or generating fear in you. Parigyanena, by knowledge. You didn't do anything to the snake. You didn't drive it away. You didn't put it in a cage. No, didn't do anything. Parigyanena, only by complete knowledge. See, we already had some knowledge. You saw it, but you didn't know it was a painting for a split second. Parigyana, complete knowledge. Partial knowledge, snake. Complete knowledge, painting of a snake. So that chitra sarpasya sarpatvam nashyati. The snakeness of the painted snake is destroyed. Sarpatvam. What really bothers us about the world is the reality of the world. Not that there are people and things and there is happiness and misery, there is disease and war and all of that. Not that, but that those are real actually. That's what's worrying us. If you see that they are not real, that they are all appearances in one consciousness, that will solve your problem. Then you are able to live better in this world itself and function better in this world itself. Nothing will change. See the snake, the picture of the snake remained as the picture of the snake. It looked the same. He says, Thita eva. The world remaining as it is. Your problem is solved. What do you mean world remaining as it is? What are the other ways of solving this problem? I want to erase the experience of the world as it is. I can't take it. So I run away to the mountain, the cave in the mountain. So I don't want to face the people, the job, and the taxes and all of that. I don't want to face. And the pollution and the struggles in the world. I don't want to face that. I want to go away to a nice place in the Himalayas and meditate. What have you done? You have run away from the world. You have stepped away from that experience. You can't take that experience. That's one way. Another way is remaining in that world itself, but you don't want to experience it. You close your eyes to it. So a person may sit in meditation and not try to experience the world. I'll turn inwards. I will not attend to the world as such. As long as I don't experience, some do it in a bad way. Some drink themselves to a stupor, some take drugs and all, so that they are spared the experience of the world. You're not experiencing it anymore. That's why the reason why people drink and other drugs and also to alter their experience. So that means the experience they're having right now is not satisfactory, is not helpful, is not a happy experience. In asukham, sukha is happy, asukha. The same word means two things: not happy and disease. So one can, there's an unwise way of changing. A wise way of changing might be through meditation. There is a term now, spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing means trying to be very spiritual means you don't want to face your problems. Spiritual bypassing. So is Vedanta spiritual bypassing? You try to ignore the problems of the world. Oh, it is false. It's an appearance. No. It says Thita eva, in the middle of samsara, in the family, in the job, in the city, not in the Himalayas, in the city, sthita eva. The world remaining the same, upashamyati, it's gone. The world remaining as it is. Body is there, old age is coming, health insurance is not sure. And you're struggling with the world, people are not so nice. Things are going on as they always have been, maybe a little worse, maybe a little better. Sthita eva, as such it is there. Upashamyati, world is gone. Upashamyati is silenced. You're living in the middle of a crowd, it's as good as living in the high Himalayas. How can you have the peace of the Himalayas wherever you go? How can it be 70 degrees in the greatest cold and in the highest heat also? It's always perfect. Your internal temperature is set perfectly. How? One way, he says, by by realizing the falsity of the world, by seeing that it's a picture, not a real snake. That's one way. We already discussed three ways, not three ways, more than three ways. Another was emergency measure, pranayama, to calm down the mind. There are some emergency measures. One is pranayama, you can calm down the mind temporarily. Revered Swami Bhuteshanji Maharaj, 12th president of our order. He gave, one thing about him was he was very slow. He speaks slowly, moves slowly. He could not be hurried in anything. It reminded me of Mark Twain. When somebody said to him, he was also slow. Somebody said to him, hurry up. Mark Twain said, I have only two speeds, this one and slower. You choose. So Revered Swami Bhuteshanji Maharaj told, a senior monk who told me recently, he said, if things are really tough, you are under a lot of pressure and lot of anxiety, intensively. It's getting too intense. Do one thing immediately. Slow down a lot physically. Slow down all your movements. Slow down your speech, your reaction, everything slow it down, almost to a stop. You will see the mind will calm down. A lot of anxiety is reflected in our body. It's not so easy to calm down the mind straight away. But you can start with the body. Keep the body still. React slowly. If somebody says 10 things, say one thing in reply. Don't say 20 things in reply. No need. Slow down. I have only two speeds, you should say, this and slower. I remember once, so in those days, in the Ganga near Belur Math, there used to be this, what we used to say, this ban. That means when the high tide would come in the Bay of Bengal, a wave of water would rush into the Ganga, moving upstream. So we on the bank of the Ganga, it was a sight to see, like a huge wave coming, one wave only coming, rushing upstream. I don't know, those who have lived near a tree, near a river, which is near the sea, they know this thing. High tide and low tide, it affects the river. So we would, when the time came, it could be predicted when it will come. We would go to the shore of the Ganga to see that coming in. All the boats, for example, would rush to the middle of the river. Because if you're on the side of the river, the boats would be thrown up into the air and they might dash against. So little boats, they'll all go to the middle of the river, you'll be more or less safe. So it's a sight to see. Nowadays, I hear the height of the wave is much reduced because of some embankments. So monks shouted, "It's coming! It's coming!" They all of them went to run to the river bank to see it. And Revered Swami Bhuteshanji, who was the president of the entire order, he started from his quarters, not very far from, slowly. Then we saw it, and all of us we were delighted, laughed. Oh, look, see that, see that. Then it's gone. Now it's time to go back. We're coming. Maharaj is still coming. He said, the monk said, "What will you see, Swami? It's too late. It's gone. It's all over." He said, "Since I have started, let me go." Um, so that is an emergency measure. Slow down. So all these things we have seen, but now the whole point of the chapter, falsity of the world appearance, that is going to be taught. Now, before I go into it, what is this falsity of the world appearance? What's its role? How do you realize it? These things we will see. Actually coming to see it. Before that, let me refer to the notes given by Swami Dhireshananda ji. On page 67, you have a quotation. This is not part of the Yoga Vasishta Sara. It's a quotation from Panchadashi, chapter 2, 70th verse. Chapter 2, 70th verse. This quotation is about what do you do to the world in spiritual life? How to get peace in the world? What do you do to the world? And the answer is nothing. Let it go on as it is. You see, 70th verse of chapter 2, Panchadashi, page 67, in the middle of that. You can repeat if you want after me. It's a very beautiful verse. भाति चेद भातु नाम भाति चेद भातु नाम भूषणं मायिकस्य तत् भूषणं मायिकस्य तत् यदसद्भासमानं तत् यदसद्भासमानं तत् मिथ्या स्वप्नगजादिवत् मिथ्या स्वप्नगजादिवत्. What about the world? He says, Bhati iti chet. Yeah, I know I'm pure consciousness and all that, but all these problems in the world, they're still appearing. Bhati iti, it is appearing. Let it appear. Let it appear. Bhushanam maikasya tat. This is the glory of Brahman, the Saguna Brahman, Ishvara with the power of Maya. It is appearing in all these ways. This is the glory of Brahman. What do you mean? He gives an example. Swapna gajadivat. Let me give a slightly different example. A little child went with a father to a museum. And then there was a big wooden elephant there. Somebody told me this is actually a proverb in Tamil. So this is a wooden elephant there. He didn't know it was a wooden elephant. So he ran and hid behind the father. He got scared. Elephant, tusks and all. Now father is seeing exactly the same thing. Not only is he not afraid, he's admiring the workmanship and all that. So it's a wooden elephant. What makes the difference? The knowledge that it's not a real elephant. The appearance remains the same. Swapna Gaja means an elephant seen in the dream. A child sees something in the dream and is terrified. Wakes up. Even after waking up, also crying maybe. But it's the fact that it's not real. Yad asad bhasamanam tat mithya. That which does not exist and yet appears to exist, that is called mithya, false. You experience it. That's the very nature of the falsity. What is false? The non-existent thing is not false. When you say world is false, we are not saying world is non-existent. We are saying that what actually exists is being perceived in a wrong way. What exists is a wooden elephant. It's being perceived or understood as a real elephant. What exists is a painting of a snake. It's being perceived as a real snake. Not that nothing exists. Sometimes people make a mistake. They think that Vedanta is saying, oh, world is false means nothing is existing. No, no, no. It exists. But it's being perceived as a real world in itself, quite apart from Brahman. That it is Brahman, it's not at all understood by people. And they think it is a real world, like a real snake being seen there or a real elephant being seen there. And then we treat it as a real world. So what's the problem if you treat it as a real world? Raga dvesha. These are the things I like. These are the people I like. I want more of that. These are the things and jobs and food and people I dislike. I want to avoid all that. Although literally they're all the same. They're all the same. Really speaking, they're all Brahman. So he says, Bhati iti ched bhatu. If a beautiful painting of a snake comes and you realize it is a snake, now what will you say? Let it appear. It's a beautiful painting. You don't have to erase the painting. You'll be destroying a work of art. Let the snake appear. It is basically, it is the glory of the painter. The painter has painted such a glorious thing. He says, Bhushanam maikasyata. This is Panchadashi, Vidyaranya Swami. Bhushanam means jewel. It's a decoration. It's a adornment. It's an adornment. Maika means Saguna Brahman, Ishvara, God with the power of Maya, Brahman with the power of Maya. It is an adornment. This universe is an adornment of Brahman with the power of Maya. Is it so horrible? No, wait a minute. Before you say it's horrible, find out what it really is. Then you will see its horrible nature will be gone. Its scary nature will be gone. Of course, only for the enlightened one, not for the others. Now, how to do that? Let me make two observations before I go into the how of it. The next part, we'll go to verse number 16, 17. There's a verse 16, 17, which tells us, gives us a clue how to appreciate it. Like a doorway into falsity of the world. Verse number 16, 17, 2.16, 2.17. Before that, let me make a couple of important observations. What purpose does this teaching of the falsity of the world serve in Advaita Vedanta? After all, the point of Advaita Vedanta is not to tell us that the world is false. The point of Advaita Vedanta is to tell us that there is some such thing as Brahman, ultimate reality, existence, consciousness, bliss. And more importantly, you are that Brahman. That's what Advaita wants to tell us. Then why carry out value judgments like world is false? Why give so much emphasis on the falsity of the world? Why? What's the point here? What's the purpose? What good is it? For Advaita itself, what good does it do to talk about falsity of the world, to teach the falsity of the world? Two purposes it served in Advaita Vedanta, falsity of the world, two purposes. One is Vairagya. Second one is Vastu Nirdesha, pointing out the reality. First one, Vairagya. This one is easy to understand. Our real problem is not that we don't understand Vedanta, not that we don't really appreciate I am Brahman. It's not so difficult to appreciate. Our real problem is the strong involvement we have with samsara. We are holding on to samsara for dear life. I want this. Now, if it was something really desirable, really, which will give me lasting fulfillment, we would have said, fine, go for it. But it does not. By wanting things, we think, I want this, this, and this. And if I get that, I'll be fulfilled. I'll be happy. We think that, really think that. If you say your desires are endless, theoretically, but actually my desires are not endless. There are few things I want. If I get that, I'll be happy. Most of us think that, and it's also false. We have been thinking that all our lives, ever since we were little babies, before we could walk. And we had some desires at that time. From that time onwards, as toddlers, as little children, as teenagers, as young people, as adults, as children playing, as students in the school and college studying, as people working in professions, as family men and women raising families, all the time we have desires and we always think if those are fulfilled, I'll be happy. And no, not once that has ever happened. Not once. Till today. Someone is 20 years old, someone is 30, someone is 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. None of us can claim after a lifetime of thinking, I will get this, this, and this, and trying to get it and succeeding in some way, at least to some extent. Can I say that I am now fulfilled and happy? No, no. We still have the same condition as the baby or the toddler. I want. I am dissatisfied. I am grumpy. At least the baby or the toddler moves on from one thing to another very fast. Gets very upset. When we're coming, there's a little kid crying because it's some problem with the Lego. Really crying a lot. But I'm quite sure now, that was 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. I'm quite sure he's fine now. That's a great advantage. But when we are at 80 years old, that will not be there anymore. Grumpy morning means grumpy afternoon, grumpy evening. Same owl face will be there. We don't move on. Then we get stuck because we are adults, grown up, responsible, thoughtful. So our project of making ourselves happy by fulfilling desires has not succeeded after 60, 70, 80 years of life. Desires, if we get what we want, the result will be dissatisfaction. Look at the data of our lives. If we do not get what we want, the result is frustration. So basically the desire-prompted life, desire-induced life, only two results are possible. Dissatisfaction or frustration. Like they say, if you win the rat race, you're still a rat. Can't be happy. So in Advaita Vedanta also it creates a problem. Even after getting a grasp of what Advaita teaches, we still have a question. But, I get it, but what will follow the but, you will see there's some desire involved. Now, how to get rid of these desires? I know they are inherently worthless, but I can't get rid of them, Swami. You know why we can't get rid of them? Because we think they're real. They're real. We don't desire the things in the movie. We may desire them in real life, but we don't desire the thing on the screen itself at that point because we know it's not real. We are not afraid of anything on the screen. We do not really desire anything on the screen. I remember once in my life, I went to a 3D cinema. 3D cinema. When we were little kids, it had come to town and they used to give us these glasses to wear. And you put on the glasses and you go and sit there. It'll give you a headache also. But you will see everything in 3D. It has as if it has got real depth. So there were these gimmicks in the movies, some kind of mythological movie, like something like Ramayana, Mahabharata. And someone holding a plate of laddus, sweets, holds it out like that. The whole plate with sweet comes out of the screen and comes and floats in front of your nose like this. Plate with sweets, it's floating like this. If you take off the glasses, effect will not be there, but you can have the glasses, it'll be here. And the kids had a gala time with it. They would laugh and sweep their hands like this. But even they knew it's not a real laddu. None of them cried that why I could not get it. They were having fun. And equally fun when the arrows were being shot. Some of the arrows would come out of the screen towards you. And the kids would duck like this and giggle and laugh. They were very poor special effects compared to today. But anyway, it was realistic enough for us. Now notice, while you're trying to get the laddu, you are giggling and laughing. While you're dodging the arrows, you're giggling and laughing. Both your reactions to a scary thing and a tempting thing are the same. It's entertainment. It's fun. Why? Because the laddus look like laddus. And the arrows look like arrows. But none of them are real. They are pictures and you know it. Therefore, it becomes fun. It becomes entertainment. All our temptations and our terror are wiped out mithyatva nishchaya upon determination of the falsity of the world appearance. So, people say temporary. Everything is temporary. Don't desire it if it's temporary. But that doesn't work. We know the cookie is temporary. But still, the temporary 10 seconds taste, which you will get by eating temporarily. All desires are like that. They're temporary. Who wants an eternal cookie? It will be very difficult to handle. Temporary, that's enough to tempt us. I want it just for the 10 seconds only I want it. All pleasures are like that. And we are willing to put up with years of trouble afterwards for that little pleasure at that moment. So temporary will not cut it, will not be enough. You have to see falsity. If I'm convinced it's an appearance, but it's not there. One option is not to see it at all, not to experience it at all. But that option is not there for us. World is there. You can't run away. How much can you drink? How much drugs can you take? How long can you sit in meditation, close your eyes? You have to confront the world. He says, Thita eva. The world is there in front of you. Now, one other way is falsity of the world appearance. If we know it is truly not there, it looks like that, those laddus and those arrows, the pleasure and the pain. We will see it, we will enjoy it without being attached or really scared of it. We'll be fine with it. It becomes the glory of the cinema. It becomes the glory of Ishvara who has produced this amazing display. We will be unattached to any of it. So first effect of the falsity of the world is to produce vairagya, automatic vairagya, dispassion in us. Otherwise, Advaita will not work. With a load of desires, even all this learning will not work. It will not, you will understand it, you will know it, you can even memorize the shlokas, you can even explain the concepts. But when it comes to one's own suffering in the world, it will not be enough to remove those sufferings. But once you see the falsity of the world appearance, vairagya, then it will help us. So first effect of falsity of the world is vairagya, dispassion. The world will lose its grip on us. It will still be there. We will see it, but it will not terrify us or tempt us either way. Second, more important than this, vastu nirdesha. The falsity of the world, the teaching of the falsity of the world is meant to point out the reality. Teaching of the falsity points out the reality. How? When you say it is not a snake, it is a rope. Snake is false, rope is real. Now, if you ask, oh, the snake is false, the reality is rope, I would like to know the reality. Where is the rope? Where is the rope? What does the teaching of the falsity of the snake mean? Falsity means seeing something as it is not. Seeing the desert as water, it's called a mirage. Seeing the rope as a snake. So if you say the snake is false, once you determine the snake is false, you automatically know the reality is rope. I am seeing the real rope as a false snake. Therefore, the reality is where I am seeing the false snake. That which I am seeing as the false snake is the real rope. Do you see the point? The point is determining the falsity of the world shows us where Brahman is. If you're saying Brahman is being seen by mistake as the world is false, Brahman is real, then where is Brahman? I know where is the world, here. It's like the snake. You are seeing the rope by mistake as the snake. Where is the snake? There. Where is the rope? Where is the rope? There. What you are seeing as the snake, we know that. Where you are seeing the world, there is Brahman. I was in Amsterdam. I give the example yesterday I was giving. I was in Amsterdam a couple of days ago, 2-3 days ago. And in front of me was the canal one weekend morning, just like this. It was Saturday morning, for last week only. And I saw in the canal, the building opposite of the canal, the buildings all inverted. Because it was a weekend, not much traffic. In Amsterdam, we have not only road traffic, but river traffic, canal traffic also. No traffic, so the water was not disturbed, still water. You could see the building reversed there. You could see the trees on the bank reversed there. I saw a flower bush reversed, it was there in the water. One cat was walking across from that side. I could see the cat reversed and walking us across carefully on the bank of in that. But I know, I have knowledge of what it is. It's a canal and it's a reflection. So when I see it, I am seeing building and sky and clouds and cat and flower bush. But I know it is not a building, it is water. It is not a sky or clouds, it is water. It's not a flower bush or trees, it is water. It's not even a cat which is walking so clearly. It's water, water, and water throughout. Though it all appears. Now will I say, stop appearing? No. Let it appear. It's the glory of the canal that it can reflect like that so well. Similarly, here, wherever you're seeing people and places and things and food and all of that which you are seeing, and the body and the mind, it is Brahman, existence, awareness, consciousness. That is all that there is. The same Atman, this one, everywhere. People you like, the same Atman. People you don't like, the same Atman. When we eat, we chant, Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaivatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So this is a philosophy which is Brahma Karma Samadhi. In the middle of action, you can see this reality. What does it mean? It refers to the old Vedic yajna, Vedic fire ritual, where with a wooden ladle, the ghee would be poured into the well-kindled fire by the priest in accompaniment of chanting of mantras. Now, they seem to be all different. Priest is this person. The spoon is a wooden instrument. The offering is the clarified butter. Where you are offering is the fire in the altar. These are all different things. But what is Krishna saying in the Gita? The fire is Brahman. The ladle, the spoon is Brahman. The offering of that ghee into the fire, that is Brahman. The one who is offering is Brahman, and the act of offering is also Brahman. All those things which are so evidently different, he's saying it's the same thing. How? That we'll see how. But this is what is meant by falsity of the world. And this is to be seen in the middle of life, in the middle of action, not by closing your eyes, not by drinking or taking drugs, not by running away to Himalayas. Sthita eva. in the family, in the job, in the middle of the yajna. See, while you're seeing the fire and the priest and the ladle and the ghee, you can see that it is all Brahman. While eating, here is the food, here is the spoon, here is the person who's serving, here is the person who's eating. Here is the fire of hunger in my tummy, where I'm pouring the offerings of food. All of them are nothing but Brahman, while continuing to appear as they are appearing. Let the world go on as it is. Bhati iti ched bhatu. If it is appearing, let it appear. Bhushanam tatmaikasya. It's a glory. Once we realize the background reality, we will delight at it. Amazing. What a beautiful painting of the snake. What a beautiful sculpture the man has made, a wooden elephant. What an amazing movie. What a beautiful canal water is reflecting Amsterdam. We will rejoice in it. What is more glorious? In darkness, the water is not reflecting anything. Then it's all right. Or when it is reflecting very nicely, then it is better. The canvas showing the cobra, if you make it all white and wipe out the painting, then now you'll say it is all right. Or by realizing that it's a painting, then it is all right. Let the magnificent painting be there. And you enjoy. Let the magnificent painting of this life be there. Then you enjoy. I remember I mentioned Tapovan Swamiji in that cottage in Gangotri where I went. And so I met Tapovan Swamiji's Sevak, Sundaranand there. So he told me something. He said that when he had come to Tapovan Swami in the Himalayas in those days, Tapovan Maharaj used to teach Bhashya, Upanishad, Gita and Bhashyas to a select group, small select group of students. Now this Sundaranand, he had come from Andhra. And he had run away from home to become a Mahatma in the Himalayas. Nowadays also people run away from home in India, but they to go to Bollywood to become film star. I remember when I ran away from home to become a monk, the parents were very upset. My mother said, it is just like these children run away to Bollywood to become film star. This fellow is running away to be. If he's genuine, then he will become a monk and he will stay. And if he's not genuine, he will come back. So he went to the Himalayas to become a monk, and then he heard that among the great monks teaching at that time was Tapovan Swami, and he went there. He said, I went there, a long story short. Finally, when he reached, the problem was Tapovan Swami was teaching at a very high level. Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Shankara Bhashya. And this boy had hardly school education. So Tapovan Swami said to him, see, you go to some other guru, because what I am teaching you will not be able to understand. It's not possible for you. And then he told me himself. He said, I told him that I like you. I will stay here. I know I cannot understand. I'll stay here. I will serve you. I'll clean the ashram. I'll serve you, take care of you. And the other small number of students were there. And I will just sit and listen to you. And Tapovan Swami agreed. And for till the end of Tapovan Swami's life, this man who became Sundarananda later on, he served till the end of his life, and very loyally also. And Tapovan Swami blessed him greatly, with lot of blessings. Now, the point I want to make here is, because he could not understand this Advaitic teachings, some other disciplines Tapovan Swami prescribed. One was physical austerity. Another one was, he said, sweeping his arm across the Himalayas. He says, you see God with open eyes. He quoted from Kabir Das, Khule nayan dekhu sahab ko. With open eyes, I shall see the Lord. You see God with closed eyes in Samadhi. All right, you see. But I will see God with open eyes. So it says, Tapovan Swami taught him to see Brahman in the Himalayas and Ganga. Later on, those who know, they know he became famous for his photography also. There's a book, Himalaya, photographs of Sundarananda Swami. Anyhow, so see God in the Himalayas and Ganga. And he says, Tapovan Swami used to quote this from the Rig Veda. Pashya devasya kavyam yona jiryati namamara. Look upon the immortal poetry of the Lord, the great poet. The poetry with neither perishes nor decays, neither decays nor perishes. Yona jiryati namamara. What is the eternal poetry of the Lord? This Himalaya, this Ganga, this universe. Khule nayan dekhu sahab ko. With open eyes shall I see the Lord my God. How? So looking at the same world, we see the world, the enlightened one sees Brahman. So it's not a problem for them, whatever they see. We see cancer, pain, and dying. And they also see that because they are seeing the same painting, but they know it is Brahman. So Sri Ramakrishna can say, I am in great bliss. But the same fact, the same cancer, same pain, same dying. It's fine. It's great bliss. Now, let us go to verses number, the real one for this afternoon. Verse number 16, 17. We'll do that and stop and then take questions. An actual appreciation of what is meant. Please repeat after me. अव्युत्पन्नस्य कनके अव्युत्पन्नस्य कनके कानके कटके यथा कानके कटके यथा कटक व्यक्तिरेवास्ति कटक व्यक्तिरेवास्ति नमनागपि हेमधि नमनागपि हेमधि तथाज्ञस्य पुरागार तथाज्ञस्य पुरागार नगनागेन्द्रगोचरा नगनागेन्द्रगोचरा इदं दृश्यं दृगेवास्ति इदं दृश्यं दृगेवास्ति न त्वन्या परमार्थदृक् न त्वन्या परमार्थदृक्. Translation. He who is inexperienced with gold has only the understanding of the bracelet form in a gold bracelet. The awareness of its gold content never arises at all in his understanding. Similarly, to an ignorant person, all the visible objects like city, buildings, trees, mountains, snakes, etc., appear as extremely real in his understanding. This visible universe is in fact unreal. The only reality is the seer, who is nothing but Brahman, and whose essential nature is consciousness alone. Such an understanding of the genuine knowledge never arises in him, the ignorant person, because he is incapable of seeing the absolute truth. Okay. All of Vedanta has been packed into this. Little difficult, but we'll see. It rotates on that simple fact of the falsity of the world. We will see. First, a very nice example. Avyutpannasya kanake, kanake, katake. You also should appreciate the Sanskrit poetry of it, the play of words. Kanaka means gold. Kataka vyaktireva asti namanagapi hemadhi. Hema also means gold. So suppose there are golden ornaments. And suppose for some reason a person doesn't know what gold is. And the person really loves one of those ornaments. Maybe there's a lady who loves, of all the ornaments, she loves this necklace. Now, for some reason, she does not know. Maybe it's a little girl who does not know what gold is. Now, suppose that necklace is melted and made into an earring or a bracelet. She'll be devastated, heartbroken. If you say it is the same thing, you say, no, it's not the same thing. For her, the necklace is important. That design, that name necklace, and then she can put it on her neck. That is the important thing. But for you, the material is important. You say this is equally valuable. And this is the same material. Literally the same substance, the same gold which was in the necklace is in now the bracelet. But she has no hemadhi. Dhi means understanding. Hema means gold. Her understanding is not gold understanding. Her understanding is necklace understanding. So her whole attention is stuck on the necklace. There's a story they tell of a businessman who fell on hard times. The Ganesh Chaturthi is going on. The topic is the example will be a telling example. So this businessman, he goes to pawn off, pawn, PAWN, pawn off his little Ganesh Ji Murti to the pawn shopkeeper who weighs the image and gives him some money, loans him some money in return of the image. And he says, Ganesh ji ka kya rate? What's the rate for Ganesha? And this is the rate at which I'll give you. But Ganesh always comes with a little mouse. And this gentleman says, so chuhe ka kya rate? What's the rate for the mouse? And the shopkeeper said, Are Ganesh ji ka jo rate, wo chuhe ka bhi wahi rate. Whatever is the rate for Ganesh is the rate for, it's just a difference in weight. It's the same material after all. And this man is scandalized. Kya Ganesh ji ka jo rate, chuhe ka bhi wahi rate? What? For you, a mouse and Ganesha is the same. And then the shopkeeper said, my good man, for you it is Ganesha and a mouse. For me it is gold. He has hemad, his attention is on the reality of it, which is gold. This man's attention is on the form, divine form of God in the form of Ganesha. And divine mouse, but not equal to Ganesha. So, another example, classic example of the child. Suppose that pawn shopkeeper has a little boy whom he explains, here is all the golden ornaments I have kept in a locker. When I ask for something, you get it. So the child sees, okay, this is what is there in the locker. Next day, the father yells, boy, go to the locker and get me some gold. And the boy comes back and says, there's no gold, father. What? I just showed you last night. It's full of gold. No, there isn't. What are you talking about? They go back and he opens it and he says, hey, look, it's all gold. And then the boy says, but these are all ornaments. This is a necklace, this is a Ganesha, this is a mouse, and where is gold? You see, he does not understand what is meant by gold. So here he says, avyutpanna, one who has not understood in the golden ornament, he does not see the gold. So he sees only the ornament. He sees only Kataka Vyakti. He sees only the necklace. He sees only the bracelet. He sees only the ring or the tiara. But he doesn't see the gold at all. His attention is not on the gold. Child goes to, there are these fairs, local fairs outside the monastery, Children used to go, I don't know if it's still available, they used to go and purchase these toys made of sugar. So there would be an elephant made of sugar, there would be a lion made of sugar, there would be a hunter made of sugar. And the child is crying, I want the elephant, I want the elephant, I want the elephant. The mother is saying, you take the horse, take the elephant, it's not available, but take the horse or any weight sugar and you're going to eat it. And it's all going to taste the same. At the end of the game, you're going to eat it. But for the child, it's going to play. There's a samsara in the mind of the child. They're going to be an elephant and the hunter is going to sit on the back of the elephant and then hunt the tiger. All that's not possible unless you get an elephant. But it's all sugar. The mother, notice, the mother sees the elephant. Mother sees the horse and the hunter and the tiger. She understands exactly what the child is talking about, but also sees that they are all the same sugar. The enlightened one understands us when we talk about this is the sorrow in my life and that is what I want in my life and this happened and that did not happen. All of that the enlightened one understands, but also understands it's all sugar, Brahman. It's all Brahman. The good and the bad, all of them are the same reality. Nothing whatsoever has happened. And you also are that same reality. So the enlightened one understands that. Now, how can we understand it? That's the question. Now we have to get into it. The 17th verse gives us the outline of the method. What is the method? Also the example, another example he has given. For the ignorant one, when he looks at, when he looks at the city, he sees buildings and he sees human beings and he sees, apparently there are snakes there also. I think it's just poetry, Naga Nagendra. So he has put a snake in there also. Anyway, but he does not see that it's all Brahman. Now, what is the way to do that? This half a line is there. The whole secret is locked in half a line. And the rest of the time, whatever we have got today, we'll have to we have to spend in unpacking that half a line. Idam drishyam drigevasti. That's all. Idam drishyam drigevasti. Whole of Vedantic method, vichara, inquiry is packed into that. Idam drishyam drigevasti. Asti means is. Idam means this. Drishyam means whatever you see, whatever you experience, whatever we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, whatever we think about, understand, believe, all of it. That is drishyam, object. Drigeva, the seer, drashta, consciousness. So idam drishyam drigevasti means whatever is experienced in the world is you, the consciousness. Whatever is experienced in the world is you, the consciousness. Now, let us start by seeing that we don't feel that way. We say, first of all, two things. I don't think that I am consciousness. Yes, we agree, we grudgingly agree. Yes, there is consciousness. I am conscious. Now I am conscious. And as the day progresses at night, I'll be less conscious, then I will fall unconscious. Sometimes as the class progresses, I'll become less and less conscious. That sort of consciousness I understand. But I'm not just that. I have a mind, thoughts, emotions. I have a life. I have a memory. I have a personality. I have a body, a presence in the world, presence in the virtual world also. This is my personality. I am this person. So we don't think of ourselves as consciousness, not as pure consciousness. That's first step. Second, idam drishyam drigevasti. This world which is experienced, that is consciousness, not at all. We see it as table, book, shirt, bottle, man, woman, lawn, car, sky, hall. This is what we see it as. Walking, talking, eating. All is Brahman. No, no, no. We see it as objects, people, living beings, non-living beings, big, small, activities, actions. This is how we see it. So imagine the big task before us. First of all, we have to see ourselves as pure consciousness and understand and see for ourselves, actually feel for ourselves what is pure consciousness. Then the next big step will be to see all of this as pure consciousness. And we have 20 minutes to do it. But we'll give it a fair shot. First of all, what I see is different from me. Follow this step by step. Basic Drigdrishya Viveka, step by step. 4 steps we'll take. What I see is different from me. See, literally, when I see, when I say see, I mean seeing, physically seeing. So what the eye see is eyes is different from the eyes. This is bottle, it's clearly different from the eyes. And whatever the eyes can see are different from the eyes. There are certain things which eyes cannot see, like atoms are there, I can't see. But whatever the eyes can see, they're different from the eyes. In fact, the eyes can see themselves, but they can't because the eyes are not different from themselves. So the eyes cannot objectify. The eyes cannot see themselves directly. You can see a reflection of your eyes. You can see a selfie of your eyes. But you can, the way the eyes are seeing this directly, that way the eyes cannot turn around and see themselves. So here is a first point. Drashta and drishya, seer and seen must be distinct. For the seer to see the seen, for the drashta to see the drishya, they must be distinct. Drashta and drishya must be distinct. This is drishya, bottle. Eyes are the drashta, in a very naive way. I know you will say that, no, eyes are not the seer. Eyes are there, then mind is there, I am there, I am the seer through the eyes. That's right, very sophisticated. But what I'm saying is, let's start in a very simple way. Eyes are different from, eyes are the seer, they're different from the object of vision, the seen. This is drishya, this is drashta. Now, this is not enough. The eyes are also drishya because I am aware of the eyes. Eyes are open, I'm aware of it. The eyes are closed, I'm aware of it. The eyes need glasses, I'm aware of it. Eyes need eye drops, I'm aware of it. So these things I know. The eyes become an object. It is known and I am the knower. What is the knower of the eyes? The mind. The mind considers the eyes and knows the eyes. So the mind is the drashta. Now the eyes become the drishya, seen. Our mind is the seer, quote unquote seer. Mind is not actually seeing the eyes, but knowing the eyes. By only the eyes. Also the nose and the tongue and the skin and the ears. In fact, the whole body, the mind is the knower of the whole body. Mind is the common background recipient of information about the whole body. Mind is the seer, eyes and the rest of the body are seen. Seer and seen are different. Whatever the body is and whatever the mind is, mind and body are not the same thing, literally. You can see for yourself. You might say, why not? See for yourself. One big difference. The body is public. You can see it, others can see it. Doctor can examine it. But the mind is first person, only open to you, private. What you feel, that's in the mind. That's why the doctor has to ask. Rest of it, doctor can examine. Doesn't the doctor ask how much pain? Nowadays, I think it's many hospitals have that mandatory. On a scale of what? 0 to 10. How much is the pain you're feeling? Why are they asking? Why don't they do some test? They will not do test because it's a subjective thing which they want to know. For every subjective thing, doctor has to ask you. But the body is public. The condition of the kidney, the level of the cholesterol, doctor will not ask you. So can you judge the level of cholesterol? Can you tell me? No, they will not ask. They will take the test. What you say has no value at all. They will take a test and get a precise measurement from the pathology department. They'll get precise measurement because it's public, it's observable, it's measurable. But our mind is not public, observable, measurable. And yet you know how you feel from a 0 to 10. What is the level of pain? You can tell. So it's a fact, but it's a private fact. Clearly, the mind and the body are not at the same level. There's some difference. Whatever the difference, there's some clear, sharp differences there. So mind and the body are distinct. Mind is the seer, body is the seen. This is second stage. 4 stages are there. Third stage. Mind itself is seen. The contents of our mind, we know it. Our thoughts, I'm not feeling too great today. So you know your own feelings. I am delighted. So in America, the first thing that I had to learn was everybody will ask you, how are you feeling today? Or how are you today? And you have to say, I am great, how are you? I spent 1 or 2 years halfway there, I'm not used to it in India. Everybody asking. First, I had to realize they're not interested in knowing how you are. It's like hello. It's like hello. It's the beginning. It's like hello. And you have to say hello. Instead of hello, Americans will say, how are you today? And you have to say, I'm great. How are you? They'll say, I'm great. Then hello is over. Then you start. And I made this faux pas, the mistake. In the beginning, I would say, how are you? I would say, good. And he would wait. Then I realized I have to say also, how are you? So I know the contents of my mind that I'm great today. I know. If I know the contents of my mind becomes drishya, I am the drashta. Yeah? Then I, the drashta of the mind, must be distinct from the mind. Just as the mind is distinct, just as the eyes are distinct from the bottle, the mind is distinct from the eyes, then I, the knower of the mind, must be distinct, separate, an independent entity apart from the mind. You can argue this. You can think about it more. Why not the mind itself? You'll see. Why not the mind itself? But anyway, going on with the argument. I, the knower of the mind, am not the mind. I am the observer of the mind. I am the knower of the mind. I am the experiencer of the mind. I am the drashta. Another word for it is drik, the seer. Now see, the bottle was seen, the eyes were the seer. Eyes are the seen, mind is the seer. What about the bottle? Still the seen. Mind is the seer. Mind is the seen, I, the drashta, drik, am the seer. Another name is sakshi, witness. Witness consciousness. Why did I add consciousness? Because clearly I'm conscious. I'm experiencing. Whatever I am, 2 things I know. I exist and I'm conscious. So I am conscious of the contents of the mind. The contents of the mind become drishya. I am the drashta. And I am separate from the mind, different from the mind, distinct from the mind. What happened to the bottle? Still the drishya. What happened to the eyes? Now they have become drishya. What happened to the mind? Now it has become drishya. Earlier drashta, but now it has become drishya. The ultimate drashta, ultimate seer, for which there is no further seer, is you, the Sakshi, the Drik. Why is there no further seer? We come to the fourth stage. Drigeva natu drishyate. You, the seer of the mind, you can never be objectified. You cannot be known as this. Try it. I know. So think a thought in the mind. 2 plus 2, 4. I am aware of 2 plus 2, 4. That I, which I am aware of 2 plus 2, 4, try to become aware of that. You can't. It remains always the subject, never the object. Always the seer, never the seen. And that always the seer, it is clearly there. Otherwise, you can't see. Otherwise, you can't experience. It's clearly there. That was the great conclusion of Descartes. Cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. The undeniability of the subject, irrefutability of the subject. I am there. And I am consciousness. And I am self-revealed. I self-shine. Lot of heavyweight argumentation is there behind it. Let me give you a little sample here. I exist. How do I know? Because everything I know by being a drashta. Eyes are knowing the bottle by being the drashta of the bottle, seer of the bottle. Eyes are known because mind is the seer of the eyes. Then mind is known because I, the witness consciousness, am the seer of the mind. Then how am I known? How am I known? Two ways. One is by the very fact that I'm knowing everything. How do I know that I have eyes? Let me give you this simple experiment. By seeing the bottle, two things are revealed to me. One is obviously straightforward, there's a bottle. But it also reveals to me that I've got eyes. Isn't it? By seeing the bottle, bottle is revealed. By seeing the book, book is revealed. By seeing the shirt, shirt is revealed. By seeing the man, man is revealed. By seeing the woman, woman is revealed. By seeing what, the eyes are revealed. You'll say seeing the eyes, but I can't see the eyes. Then, will the eyes not be revealed? Will the eyes not be known? They are known. How? By seeing what do you know that you have got eyes? Seeing anything, everything. By seeing the bottle, not only bottle is revealed, I know that I have functioning eyes. By seeing the shirt, not only shirt is revealed, I know that I have functioning eyes. By seeing anything at all, eyes, that I have eyes, it is being revealed. Now, I am consciousness is revealed by every conscious experience. By seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, imagining, enjoying, suffering, waking, dreaming, even sleeping. All of them reveal one thing to me. Apart from those things it's themselves, they reveal that I am conscious. Think about it. This is one way, and this is the easy way. Sounds difficult, but it's the easy way. Now, more subtle, more subtle. I, the consciousness, am self-revealed. Because someone might say, all right, so you, the consciousness, in order to know yourself, you have to experience something. Then you are dependent on the world of objects. You're dependent on the senses and the mind in order to know your own existence. Is it not so? Answer is no. No. By myself, as consciousness, I am self-revealed. Two ways of knowing that the light is on. One is, everything is lit up. Oh, so there must be light in the room. There must be light in the room. Everything is lit up. That's one way. Another way, look at the light. It is self-revealing. It not only lights up the room, it reveals itself. You, the consciousness, you not only light up your life, all objects are revealed to you. You have life. That shows your consciousness. That's the indirect way. It's like seeing everything is lit up here. There must be light. There must be light. But when I look at the light directly, in light you can see directly there's a light. About consciousness, you can't see directly because you cannot objectify it. But remember, now here's the little bit of logic here. Follow this carefully. In every knowledge, there is a knower and a known. And there's also an instrument of knowledge. I am knowing the bottle. So I am the knower and the bottle is known. And to know the knower, you will need, to know anything, you need a knower. But if I say, how will you know the knower? If you say you need another knower for the knower, to know that I exist, I need another I, a super I. Then to know that one, I need a super, super I. This is called regressus ad infinitum. The fallacy of infinite regress. In Sanskrit, it is called anavastha dosha. Anavastha dosha. To know all jada objects, all insentient things, all objects, subject is required. But how will you know the subject? Will you need another subject? It's like ask, I can know all these things because I am the subject. But how do I know I am existing? Do I need you? Should I ask you, do I exist? Please check. I know all this exists because I am the subject, but my own existence I can't objectify. So you must please verify whether I'm existing or not. No, I don't need it. To know the self, another self is not required. To know the subject, another subject is not required. To know the knower, another knower is not required. Then how is it known? Either you have to say unknown or it is known. How? So then the only thing you are pushed to is the knower must be like a light, self-luminous. It not only reveals everything, it reveals itself also. The term used is swaprakasha, self-luminous. There are fine distinctions there, but we'll leave it alone now. So I am the drashta, the seer, the knower. I am distinct from all the drishya. I'm distinct from the external world. I'm distinct from the sense organs. I'm distinct from the mind. I am consciousness. Also, notice the world and body and thoughts in the mind. They are many, many, many. Consciousness is one. World, body, mind, changing, changing, changing. Consciousness is unchanging. The one distinct, unchanging consciousness, self-revealed, I am. This is called Sakshi Chaitanya. This is called Drig. Drig. Quite apart from body and mind. Krishna says the same thing to Arjuna. Kshetrag Kshetragya. There is the field, the body is the field, and you are the knower of the field. Kshetragya, knower of the field. And the knower of the field is distinct from the field. The knower of the field is distinct from the field. Same thing, Drig and Drashta and Drishya. Same thing Krishna is telling Arjuna. Now, one more. So up to this we have got. Try it a little bit in experience. Look at this bottle of water in my hand. You just sit straight, relaxed, a little experiment in noticing yourself as drashta. Let us try to look at the bottle in my hand and see that the bottle is the object. My eyes are the seer. There's drishya, drashta. Now, when you are comfortable, gently close the eyes and notice that the eyes are closed. So the eyes have now become the object of your knowledge. Eyes are drishya, the mind is the drashta. Now do it, actually do it. In the mind, think a thought. Any thought. Om or 1, 2, 3, 4. That 1, 2, 3, 4 is a thought. That's the mind. Clearly it is known. I experienced it. Just try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, I experienced it. Who is the experiencer of 1, 2, 3, 4? You see that you can never objectify that experiencer. That experiencer of 1, 2, 3, 4 right now is drashta, drik. I am consciousness. I am awareness. I am the drashta. I experience all thoughts and emotions in the mind. And through the mind, I, the drashta, experience all sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. I experience the body, the world. I am one. The drishya, the objects are many. I am unchanging. The objects are changing. I am the drashta. Gently open your eyes. This is drik. It's worthwhile going through this experience as many times as possible. This is going back to yourself as awareness. It's always constantly there. It's like this. When your eyes are open, you can see everything. With the and you are there. You are there. If your eyes are open, you can see everything. And you are also there. With your eyes closed. No, I'm not very sure. With all of you might have left the hall. I'm not very sure. Especially if my ears are plugged. I will not hear anything. So whether you are there or not, world is there or not, I'm not very sure. But I am there. I'm quite clear. Even now I cannot see anymore, but I am there. Suppose I have sensory deprivation. In Amsterdam, there was this shop offering, its name was Koan Float. Koan Float. Sensory deprivation tank. They told me, Swami, you can go in there, you'll float in dense seawater, and all your senses will be blocked. You will have a neutral temperature, and you'll be floating as if no gravity, and you cannot see anything, you cannot hear anything, your skin tactile sensation will be numbed, and you cannot smell anything, you cannot taste anything. Total sensory deprivation. She is very peaceful, Swamiji. I said, I'm sure. I didn't try it, but you can get close to it in Yoga Nidra. So imagine, I don't see anything, hear anything, but they will never say that you have disappeared. We will make you disappear. You cannot. You can make the world disappear. You can make all sensory stimuli disappear. But I am still there. Now go further, which Koan Float also cannot do. Suppose I forget everything. Parkinson can do that. Alzheimer's. I forget everything. I cannot even remember my own name. I can't see anything, see, hear, smell, taste, touch anything. I can't remember anything. I have no particular sensation or feeling of happiness or sorrow. I am not thinking of anything or trying to understand anything at all. All thoughts stop. All thoughts stop, blank. And yet, I am there. I am there as the witness of the total blankness, as the witness of the total restfulness sleep, restfulness state. Deep rest you can have through Yoga Nidra. But in Yoga Nidra, everything can be silenced and you can have a deep rest. You will still be there. You will come out of it and say, what a great rest I had. Never have I relaxed so much, which means you were there. So this ever-present drashta, I am. Now, what about everything else? Mind, senses, body, world, all drishya, separate from me. This itself is a great thing because you will notice, as far as you are concerned, all the first arrow, all the problems, old age of the body, hunger and thirst in the prana, disease in the body and the prana, problems in the indriyas. I could see so well earlier, now I can't see. All problem of the indriya. They're all in the body, senses, mind, not my problems. You will clearly see they are, you're not denying any problem. It's there. One of the most powerful sutras for using Vedanta, monk told me was, Jo cheez jahan ka hai Mahatma ji, usko wahin rehne do. Whatever, don't mix up. Whatever belongs to where, you keep it there. Old age, wrinkles, belong where? Can't you see where it is? Are you dumb? It's in the skin. Let it stay in the skin. I have become wrinkled. Consciousness has become wrinkled. How? I have become obese. I'm so worried I have to lose weight. Consciousness has become 200 pounds. Is it possible? No. It is the body. Let it be in the body and you will deal with it. But you are not touched by it. Our oldest member, Bill, was talking, his memory is fading, 100 years old. So he was saying the memory is fading and so troublesome. I said, you are the witness of the sharp memory. You are the witness of the fading memory. You that witness are perfectly all right. You are not fading. And then he said, that is not much comfort, Swami. Anyway, but it's a fact. Memory problem in the memory. Cognitive problem in the cognitive. Cognitive decline. Okay, cognitive decline is connected to brain functioning. But you are experiencing that. You are not declining. Otherwise, deep sleep, no cognition is going on. So is it cognitive? You're gone. Not at all. You're there. You're the experiencer of deep sleep. You are the experiencer of coma. You are the experiencer of anesthesia. You are always there as pure consciousness. Completely vacuum out, flush out all drishya from yourself. Just drashta. What problem could you have? Nothing, nothing. Suppose there is a problem. And you say, I have this problem, X problem. Do you feel it? Yes. If you feel it, it is drishya. It's not drashta. If it's drashta, you cannot objectify it. The drashta by itself can have no problem at all. The problem of the first arrow is solved, and second arrow is that we will not have to react to it. And yes, you will deal with the physical problem, mental problem, as it happens, you can deal with it, no problem. But it's not yours. And it's much easier to deal. When you own the problem, it's much worse. Our real suffering, remember the Buddha said, second arrow, your reaction. Second arrow will be completely gone when you disown the problem. Some of those problems can be cured, solved. Some cannot be cured, must be endured. Fine. But they are not yours. Now, we have come to this state. This is the platform. This is the stage when the 16th shloka will start. 17th shloka. Now let us read what the 17th shloka says. Make it real. Look at your own experience. See that it's a fact it's talking about. What they're talking about. Now this 17th shloka, that line, that half a line, it will seem stunning, indigestible, contradictory. What have we got so far? Remember, I am the pure subject, pure consciousness, drashta, drig vastu, and all of it is drishya. World is drishya, body is drishya, senses are drishya, mind is drishya. I am drashta. Now it is saying, idam drishyam drige vasti. Sham drige vasti. What does it mean? Idam drishyam, all of this drishya which you separated from yourself, they are nothing but you, the drik. Now the stunning claim will become, how stunning it is. What you clearly know, I am not it. It is saying it is you. Idam drishyam drige vasti. It is nothing but you. It is I plus Maya plus something, Panchabhut, something, some technical terms. Nothing. Drigeva. Only you are that. Idam drishyam drigeva asti. Now it is reversing. Whatever we had done till now, it's now reversing. That's why when I do Drig Drishya Vivek, I always say, don't take it seriously. Yeah. Why not? You must take it seriously. But remember, Vedanta, Advaita is oneness. It's not division. It is not separation. It's not two-ness. Because we have separated. Drashta and Drishya, we separated. Drig, Drishya, separation, two-ness, duality. But Advaita is not duality, it's non-duality. Now it is repairing the damage we have caused. Idam drishyam drige vasti. Now listen carefully. What's the secret? Is it wrong what we did? What we did is right. But there is a little trick. There's a little catch, a little fine print which I did not tell you. I cannot do better than tell you in the lines of those sadhus in the Himalayas. How nicely they teach. They said, that sadhu said, first of all, our question. So is it wrong? Drishya not separate? Is not drashta separate from drishya? Is it wrong? He says, no, no, no. He says this. Drashta drishya se alag hai, so to theek hai, Mahatma ji. You, the drashta, you are other than the drishya. You are distinct from it. Eyes are distinct from the bottle. So theek hai, that's all right. लेकिन कभी आपने ये सोचा है क्या दृश्य दृष्टा से अलग है? Have you ever thought drashta is separate from drishya? Correct. You're right. But the drishya, is it separate from drashta? Have you ever thought that? Have you thought about it? We make the mistake. See, we think, what are you talking about? If drashta, if A is separate from B, then B is separate from A. If drashta is separate from drishya, then drishya must be separate from drashta. Eyes are separate from bottle. Bottle is separate from eyes. That's all right as far as eyes and bottle are concerned. But let me show you another example. This bottle and water. Huh? Bottle and water. Bottle is separate from water. Water is separate from although both are together. How will you know? I can show you the bottle without the water. I can show you the water without the bottle. They're two separate things. I can show them separately. Now they're together. They are separate from each other. But now let me show you something. In this bottle, in this water, when I do this, there are waves in the water. These waves, are they separate from the water? Is the water separate from the waves? Think carefully. Now, water is there, no waves. The water is separate from the waves. Can you show me the waves without the water? No. Waves are not separate from water. Follow this carefully. Water is separate from the... What do I mean by water is separate from the waves? I can show you water without any waves. Water need not be waves. Water can be still water. Water can be water vapor. It need not be waves. But the waves, what waves in the water? The waves in the water, they have to be water. They cannot be separate from the water. You see? They cannot be separate from the water. They have to be water through and through. Whenever there are these waves, their water must be there. But when water is there need not be waves. Water can exist without the waves. Waves cannot exist without the water. Water is separate from the waves, but waves are not separate from water. What he is saying here is drashta and drishya like that. You, the drik, you are separate from drishya. You can exist without the drishya, but the drishya cannot exist without you. I can show you the water without the waves, but I can never show you the waves without the water. Now try it. You can appreciate drashta without drishya. Go into koan, float there. Slowly wipe out all the drishya if you can, even the thoughts, memories, everything. Suppose it's gone, blank, floating nicely. Nothing is there, but you are there. You are there without anything else. But those anything else, mind, senses, body, world, can you ever experience them without yourself? Without consciousness? Without the drashta? No. Always drishya will be accompanied by drashta. But drashta need not be accompanied by drishya. Drishya will constantly change. Drashta will be there. Same drashta, unchanging. When you are seeing, you are there. When you are hearing, you are there. When you are smelling, tasting, touching, you are there. When you are thinking, imagining, you are there. When you are remembering, you are there. When you are enjoying, you are there. When you are suffering, you are there. When you are walking, talking, cooking, eating, running, doing yoga, you are there. When you are waking, dreaming, sleeping, you are there. In life and death, you are there. But not the body mind. Sometimes they are there, sometimes they are not there. So the drashta can be separated from drishya. Drishya can never be separated from drashta. Why? Then that leads us to think, just as why cannot waves be separated from water? Because they are nothing but water. They are a state of the water. The water itself is appearing as the waves. Drishya can never be separated from drashta. This universe can never be separated from you. Why? Because the universe is you. You alone are appearing as the universe. Another example will make it clear. Two examples. That water in the canal in Amsterdam and the city of Amsterdam, including the cat and the tree and the clouds and all of that. The water can exist without that reflected city, but that reflected city cannot exist without that water. At night, suppose all lights are switched off, nothing will be reflected in the water, but the water is still there. It's dark. Water is still there, but the reflections are not there. But when the reflections are there, water is there and the reflections are there. Those reflections are nothing but water. It looks like a building. You touch it, it's water. It looks like the sky. You touch it, it's water. It looks like a cat walking. Touch it, it's water. It looks like the universe. Touch it, quote unquote, touch it. It's you, the consciousness. Where are you? You say, I'm here. No, no, no. Here is in you. Are you in Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh is in you? Pittsburgh is in you. I'm so small. How can Pittsburgh be in me? One sadhu said, as Vedanta was being taught, on the back of the hall, the teacher was saying, you are aap sarvavyapi chaitanya hai. You are all pervading consciousness. All pervading consciousness does not mean that there is a all and then consciousness goes like a smoke and pervades it. No. There is consciousness in which the all appears, or the hall appears. Now, one sadhu at the back of the hall, he protested. I'll tell you in Hindi and then translate. अरे महात्मा जी हम तो यहाँ हैं वहां भी नहीं है सर्वव्यापी कैसे हुए? I am here, I'm not even there. How can I be everywhere? And the answer was equally stunning. The teacher said, हाँ लेकिन यहाँ और वहां क्या ये दोनों ही आप में नहीं है? Here and there, are they not both arising in consciousness? Suppose you were dreaming. You were dreaming. You're walking along a nice forested path in Pittsburgh. And you're saying, here I am walking. There are the trees far away in the mountain. When you wake up, you will realize here and there, both were in your mind in the dream. Even space was in the dreamer's mind. Even time was in the dreamer's mind. And that's a dream that we all agree to. Exactly the same thing is going on here in the waking world also. Here and there, both are in you the consciousness, not in the body. No, in you the consciousness. Even the body is in you. You are not in the body. Even the mind is in you. You are not in the mind. Even the external world is in you. You are not in the external world, so-called external world. One objection might be, Swami, if everything is in me and I am consciousness, I should be aware of everything. Be careful. You are aware of everything, but that does not mean you know everything. Knowledge and awareness are different. Sakshi and Pramata are different. I, the consciousness channelizing through the mind and the eyes, can see this much. I, the consciousness channelizing through the mind and the ears, can hear this much range. There's a lot of things I cannot see. Tiny, minute things I cannot see. What is behind me, I cannot see. But then how do you say they exist in you, the consciousness? They exist in me, the consciousness, as the known and as the unknown. Immediately this becomes the known, that becomes unknown. The universe exists in you as the known and the unknown. You are neither the known nor the unknown. Are you known? No, you cannot objectify yourself. Are you unknown? Not at all. You are more than known. Kena Upanishad says, Anya deva tad vidita dato avidita dadhi. You are other than the known, other than the unknown. This universe, physical universe, is nothing but consciousness. Oh, let it be consciousness. What is it to me? But you are consciousness. Yeah, I'm a part of consciousness. No, no, no. You are all of it. You are Drik. Only consciousness. Show me any other consciousness here. Hey, Swami, all others are conscious. Do you think they're zombies? I can see the bodies. I can see their behavior. I can hear their language. If I'm telepath, don't worry, I'm not a telepath. I can see your thoughts. And even if I were, I would not use without your permission. So I can see your thoughts if I'm a telepath. Yeah. But I can never see you, the consciousness. I can never objectify you. Because you are not an object. You, the consciousness, and I, the consciousness, are one consciousness. It can never be objectified. It all sounds very startling, but this is what is being said. That's why it's a little difficult. The teachings are simple, but they're so totally against our common sense view. But it can all be demonstrated to our satisfaction, logically explaining our present experience. Better than a materialist experience. That was, in fact, the topic of my discussion with Bernardo Kastrup in Amsterdam. How the Advaitic idea of consciousness is a better explanation of our present experience than the materialist paradigm. Drig, he says, Idam drishyam drigevasti. This drishya universe is you, the drashta. Who are you? Drik, drashta, Sakshi Chaitanya. What is this universe? I, the Sakshi Chaitanya. When you realize I am the drishya, this is called Brahman. Then you can honestly say, Aham Brahmasmi. And Advaita claims it's already a fact. For all of us, already a fact. Idam drishyam drigevasti. This is called Paramartha Drishti. Perspective, ultimate perspective. Don't worry. You can still drive home. You can still do your taxes. You can go about your profession. You can fight with your spouse. All of those things you can do. But your Paramartha Drishti now you have got. You have got a safe and secure place to rise above the troubles and travails of the world, above life and death, above acquisition and losing, above the good and bad, above the struggles, above the pleasures and miseries of the world. This place is there, a secure fortress. Paramartha Drishti. This is the view from the top of the mountain, from Mount Everest. This is Mount Everest view. It's a view from International Space Station. Yeah. Aham Brahmasmi. Drigeva. What are you? What is the universe? It is you alone, nothing else. Not you plus Maya, you plus samsara. No, it is just pure consciousness. What are you? Pure consciousness. Not part of pure consciousness, just pure consciousness. The Shankaracharya of Puri, Nishchananda Saraswati, was a very scholarly man. In one sentence, he says, he starts with this world, ends up with you, the pure consciousness. This, if you want to expand it a little, idam drishyam drigevasti. See how he starts and how he ends. I'll tell you his original words without explaining much, because that will take a whole class. In fact, it can a whole course on Indian philosophy packed into one sentence. He says, what is he going to do? Starting with Jagat, ending with Chaitanya. You. Starting with the world, ending with you. He says, Ye Jagat Panchabhut Vilas hai. Panchabhut Vilas, Maya Vilas. Maya Vilas is Chid Vilas. Chid Vilas is Chid Vivarta. Chid Vivarta is Chinmaya. Chinmaya is Chinmatra. What does it mean? This world, start with this world. This much he said. This is one sentence. But start with this world as it is. What would be the old way, the ancient way of looking at this world? It is made of 5 elements. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, Panchabhuta. Panchabhuta Vilasa, play of 5 elements. Everything here, all beings, the food that we eat, the water that we drink, the people we interact with, these bodies, these buildings, entirety, nature, our cities, everything is 5 elements. So this is step 1, world. Step 2, 5 elements. Play of 5 elements. Step 3, what are these 5 elements? They are all nothing but Maya. Maya Vilasa. Maya made of 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, has appeared as the 5 elements. This is from the Upanishads. Tasmad vaye tasmad atmana akasha sambhuta akashad vayo vayo agne agne rapa adbhya prithvi. Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmananda Valli. Then, so it is Maya Vilasa. This Maya Vilasa, play of Maya is nothing other than Brahman, because it's the power of Brahman. You can't say, you can't have heat of the fire without the fire. So that which is giving us warmth is heat, no doubt. But the heat is, the fire only is giving us warmth. So the play of Maya means play of consciousness, play of Brahman, Chid Vilasa. But can consciousness play? Poetically, we can say. See, if you stay at Chid Vilasa, you will have the whole philosophy of Kashmiri Shaivism. The vibration, the spanda of consciousness, the play of consciousness. But there Advaitin is a strict logician. He'll ask, can consciousness play? Play, isn't it a human term? Children play, animals play. Will pure consciousness play? Can it play? What does it mean to play? Pure consciousness exists. It shines. That much we know. Play means what? Isn't it poetry on your part? So Chid Vilasa means pure consciousness appears as this world. Chid Vivarta. Yeah. Appearance. Rope appearing as snake. Pure consciousness appearing as the world of 5 elements. Chid Vivarta. But when something appears as something else, that something will pervade that something else. When water appears as waves, all the waves are pervaded by water. Yeah. When clay appears as a pot, the whole pot is pervaded by the clay. So the 6th step will be Chid Vivarta is equal to Chinmaya, pervaded by consciousness. Pervaded by consciousness. But what do you mean pervaded by consciousness? Pervasion can be of 2 types. One is Here is a room, light and incense. It will be pervaded by the fragrance of the incense. Room exists separately. Then the incense comes and pervades it. Is it like that? Universe exists. Consciousness comes and pervades it. Is it like that? Or is it like water and wave? Water pervades the wave means the wave is nothing but water. Water only. Similarly, universe is consciousness only. Chin matra. Finished. He started with this universe, ended up with consciousness. Jagat, Panchabhuta Vilasa, Maya Vilasa, Chid Vilasa, Chid Vivarta, Chinmaya, Chinmatra. World as it exists, pure consciousness. There, in a simpler way, he says, Idam Drishyam Drige Vasti. Whatever you experience, it's you. And you only. Now all the consequences will flow. It is not a separate existing world which you are inhabiting. It is an appearance. This is called Jagat Mithyatva, falsity of the world. A lot. I've said a lot today. I took up all your question answer time, but this was worth it. Let me just read a couple of verses without explaining, but you will understand the meaning immediately. Verse number 18 or 17, 16, 17 we have done, 2.16, 2.17. Let's look at verse number 18. What is the consequence? Agyasya dukkhau ghamayam, agyasya dukkhau ghamayam, gyasyanandamayam jagat, gyasyanandamayam jagat, andham bhuvanamandhasya, andham bhuvanamandhasya, prakasham tu sachakshusham, prakasham tu sachakshusham. For the ignorant one, world is full of misery. It's travail and misery. For the enlightened one, Gyaha, Gyasya, Anandamayam Jagat, same world is full of Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. I myself am all of this. Andham Bhuvanam Andasya. For the one whose eyes are closed, the world is dark. For the one whose eyes are open, the world is well lit up. The opening of the eyes is what the Guru does. Jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Shalaka means when you open the eyes of the deity with the kajal, you make the eyes up. Now Durga images are being made, the craftsmen are making it. So they're opening our eyes. Guru does that. But what is the shalaka with which Guru opens our eyes? Is Vedanta. Vedanta, knowledge. The tip of that knowledge is this. Idam drishyam drige vasti. That's it. It's equal to aham brahmasmi. Tattvamasi. You are that. Sri Ramakrishna is said exactly this thing. He said, a jagat dhokar tatit. People says this is a place of deceit, of sorrow, of suffering. He says, I see this world as a jagat mojar kuti, a mansion of mirth. It's a mansion of mirth, only from that perspective. There was one great Advaitin in Kashi, Shankara Bharati. He said, he has a saying which I just read recently, just last month, long ago. What are these Vedantins like? He says, Visparita lochana trayastu Vedantinaha. These Vedantins are people with 3 eyes wide open. 3 eyes wide open. You know what he means now. 2 eyes open, worldly people. They're seeing the world. 2 eyes closed, yogis. I don't want to see the world. Meditate. Vedantins have 2 eyes open. They see the world, but 3rd eye is also open. What is the 3rd eye? The eye of knowledge. Idam drishyam drige vasti. This knowledge, 3rd eye. Therefore, seeing the same world with open eyes, the Vedantin does not want to avoid the world. Is fine with the world. You leave the Vedantin on the mountaintop, absolutely alone, without any support, maybe bhiksha once in a day. You're perfectly fine. One sadhu told me, tab aur bhi maje mein rehta hu. In the height of winter, nobody's around. I'm in greater, now you are all there. I'm very happy. When nobody is there, in the terrible cold and all alone for 6 months, I will not see a human face. Aur bhi maje mein rehta hu. Even greater bliss. But I am fine with both. So, with 3 eyes wide open are the Vedantins. You have to understand how they put it. So few words. संसारी अध्यारोप में उलझा हुआ है, साधक अपवाद में लगा हुआ है, और सिद्ध का ना अध्यारोप ना अपवाद है. So, the samsari is immersed in the drishya, in the world as it is. Is seeing the wooden elephant, is seeing the cobra, is seeing the necklace, Ganesha and the chuha, the mouse. Samsara is involved in the appearance of the world. And the sadhaka, Vedantin, attending retreat, what are they doing? Apava. This is called adhyaropa, superimposition. The samsari is merged in the hypnotized state. Suffering, enjoying suffering there, stuck. What is the sadhaka doing? Apavada. Apavada means neti, dehypnotization. Sadhaka is doing, this is drishya, I am drashta, I am not the body, not the mind, I am not, mind is drishya, senses are drishya, world is drishya, I am the drashta of it. Apavada, neti. Busy, very busy. But what is the siddha, the enlightened one? Neither adhyaropa nor apavada, is firmly settled in idam drishyam drige vasti. I am one limitless ocean of consciousness. It's very clear. It is like the gold ornament. The child is involved in the necklace only. The necklace only is the child's whole world. That only. If it goes away, everything is disaster. And the person who knows, who has understood what is gold, let's say, it is that necklace is gold, bracelet is gold, ring is gold. Attention is on the gold. Hey madhi, gold, gold, gold. But you who know both, you are neither worried about the necklace nor about the gold. You are enjoying the necklace. When you are seeing the necklace, you know it is gold, and you know the necklace also. Both you are able to handle with ease. The worldly person is involved in dharma artha kama. Pleasure, search for pleasure, search for wealth, success, power, and dharma also. A good life, meritorious life. The spiritual seeker is engaged in the search for moksha. The enlightened one, neither dharma artha kama nor moksha. What does Shankaracharya sing? Na dharma na chartho na kamo na moksha chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. So on that note, let us conclude today. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. I pray to Sri Ramakrishna, let him bless us all that we may have this vision of this life itself as a mart, a mansion of mirth, maja, and death, life and death, both as this vision of unbroken joy.
We have some fresh tea and snacks at this time, right here. And tomorrow's morning lecture is at State Hall, University of Pittsburgh. Maharaj will be speaking about consciousness studies, current and religion. The details are also on the website. And tomorrow afternoon, we have the final session here at 2:30 p.m. And then next week, we have Swami Sarvapriyananda. He's the head of our mission here.
And he's also the author of this book.
He'll be visiting us for our 15th anniversary. All the details are also on the website. Please come next week too. Thank you so much.